Finally, a great way to finish is to use a chorale to establish this idea of ensemble sound, balance, and blend. Also setting the dynamic space that you would like for your ensemble to function in. And to really listen for not only matching pitch and tone and energy, but also understanding what to do with the chord. So in this chorale, this is the Patterson chorale, we're establishing tonic with certain voices. We're listening for the open fifth of the fifth scale degree in the chord, making sure that it's 2 cents sharp, it's slightly raised to open up space for the fifth. And then finally listening for the major third of each of the arrival chords to really lock in and listen. Now the third should be a lowered tonal center, a lowered pitch. 14 cents flat is where it should sit. So again, tonic plus or minus 0. The fifth slightly raised at 2 plus 2 cents. And then the major third should be lowered 14 cents to sound in tune. So that chordal tuning process for major chords is very important. So you're going to hear the Patterson chorale now. We break it up and we chop it up so I can again focus on purity of tone from the attack through the sustain, also the quality of the sound into the release with the pitch, and then they have to exhale, breathe back in, and start it all over again. So we're really, again, focusing on the fundamentals of initiation of tone, sustain of sound, maintenance of that sound all the way through to the release points without any flaw. So as you heard in the chorale, the students did a great job of sustaining a beautiful embouchure, creating a wonderful tone throughout. They were very cognizant of the beginning of the sound, the sustain of the sound, and the release of the sound, making sure that there was a shaped release, there was energy through it, and they were flowing a fast airstream with a great embouchure. Those fundamental things create the sound that you're looking for. They were also very aware of their chordal tuning responsibilities. So the people on tonic were listening to make sure that that was in tune, plus or minus 0. The folks that were on the fifth scale degree, they were making sure that that was raised 2 cents sharp to open up space. And then finally, the players that were on the major third, making sure that they lowered that pitch 14 cents. And that's the hardest job of all when you're trying to tune a major chord, is getting that third to not only sound good, but also be in balance. And also be at the right pitch level. I would suggest as you balance these things, if you think about whatever dynamic you would like the band to be at, make sure that the tonic is the loudest note. So let's say you want the band to sound forte, then the tonic should be forte, the fifth should be like mezzo forte plus, and then the third should be like mezzo forte minus, or even a little bit softer. So you actually have to balance the chord in order for it to sound and ring the way you want it to, as well as tune it. We also practice this chorale at a variety of dynamics, soft dynamics, loud dynamics, particularly loud. If you're trying to create a bigger sound and a more full sound and get your band to play louder, then they have to be put into that scenario where they're having to sustain those things. What I like about the Patterson chorale is it's chopped up, the way we do it, it's chopped up enough for them to sustain an idea. It's not terribly long, but they really can do that at a high quality level, not be necessarily challenged that much from a physical standpoint, but they can practice really getting a great initiation of sound, sustain and release, doing the quality things that we talked about, but doing it at a loud volume, so that way they really understand how to physically interact with the instrument to create that sound. I finally would go on from there and maybe do a tuning exercise. I have this in the next module that you see, where you get a complimentary copy of our warm-up book. At the end, it's very much like what you hear these days, where you start with an open fifth through the instruments, and there's a tuning sequence that takes you all the way up and then leaves those instruments to listen. We run that on a drone. We actually do that with the one of the tuning applications that creates an open fifth drone. And listening for that every day has really locked us in. We hardly ever actually individually tune students. We allow them to do that through their ear, through the use of the drone, and up the scale degrees as they match pitch, and we expose every instrument for that opportunity. So I hope that you've enjoyed these modules. I think it's this fundamental set of creating a sound through proper embouchure, no stress, fast air, and really maintaining that all the way through is what's key because everything is stacked vertically on those particular fundamental components. If I could be of help to you at any point, you've got my contact information on the contact page there. Please feel free to reach out. And I hope that you've enjoyed this and it's been instructional for you. Please share with your students, and best of luck with your ensembles.